people? How are you, super singers? This is Annie, your big mama. Karibu. Today we want to continue with what we began a while back on causes of divorce. We looked at a few options, but today we want to look at yet another, and we want to look at another cause of divorce, which is unmet expectations. This is Annie, your big mama. Karibu. Well, like we said the other day, sometimes we have issues identifying the right partner. So, like we looked at in the last video, and please, if you did not get that from the last video, please have a look at the same from the last video, of course, after we are done watching this one. So how do these unmet expectations get to affect our relationships to a point we want to go divorcing or even separating? Well, we see that once someone gets into a relationship or they get to know someone, they bring with them a number of expectations, a myriad of expectations. When these expectations are not met, this person tends to get bored, discouraged, disappointed, to a point they want to quit this relationship. So why would this happen in the first place? Like we said in the previous video, when you come on board with these expectations, you do not get to voice them. You do not get to notify your partner that, hey, X, Y, Z are my expectations as far as this relationship is concerned, as far as this marriage is concerned. So you end up getting into an engagement or into a relationship or even into a marriage with that one person who does not quite meet your expectations. Remember, you're better off breaking an engagement than a marriage. So how do we go about this? During the first few days or the first few dates when you get to meet this person, ensure that you let them know what you expect from them and from that relationship going into the future. For instance, let's take a random example like the number of children that you want in that marriage. Maybe you only want one. Your partner wants 3. You do not get to the number of children that you want in that marriage. Maybe you only want 1. Your partner wants 3. You do not get to discuss this. So once you're done getting your 1 and they want more, you start to fight, you start to quarrel, you disagree on matters. Maybe you thought that you're drinking today, you're smoking today, you go out to the clubs in the night, but maybe once you get to marry and settle down in marriage, then all this is going to stop, because then you would be expected to now concentrate on your marriage, to concentrate on so many other things that will be going on in that marriage. But you see, since you did not get to voice these things, since you did not get to discuss them, you began your marriage on 2 different wavelengths. This one pulling in this direction, another one pulling in another direction. So there is no agreement. You did not get to an amicable, and mutually agreeable way of how you want to go about doing stuff in your marriage. In the long run, you realize that you are not agreeing because you did not discuss these things. So it is imperative, it is actually extremely important, it's a requisite that you get to discuss your expectations, get to know what your partner is like and what they expect of you. Also, let them know what you expect of them, what you expect out of that relationship, even if it goes up to marriage or whichever level it grows to. Just let them know and keep the communication lines open. Sometimes some things will happen and you're not very happy about it. If you do not get to discuss this, if you do not get to voice your feelings, your opinions. No one gets to know about it, not unless it's spoken. So you talk to your partner about it, let them know that this is what they're doing right versus what they're doing wrong, and have a dialogue, get to agree on all those issues. This way the relationship will be kept alive, and growing, because you're agreeing, you're discussing matters, you're sharing your disappointments, you're sharing your expectations. If you feel your expectations are not being met, yes, you are a party, you are a partner, an equal partner in that relationship. Voice it, say whatever it is that you need to say. Hey, I expected this, but this is what I'm getting. So how do we go about this? How do we even get to go about reasoning together, dialoguing the way forward? Or your partner, you may be surprised even when your partner says, hey, I didn't know that I was actually displeasing you. I didn't know that when I do this or another, you get upset or you're not amused by that. Now that I know, I am going to ensure that I look into the matter, so that, because everyone wants the partner to be happy. So whenever there are issues of unmet expectations, or they were not discussed, or we're just, worlds apart, you like red, I like blue, so what do we do about it? So do you go and get and get your reds as I get my blues? No, we can get to find some amicable and neutral ground where we can be able to survive with your red and my blue, and we can still be able to live together with all those. And with that, I just don't mean the colors, I mean all around. This relationship requires that we get to voice our expectations through and through, because it is very, very important with growing a relationship of whichever manner. So ladies and gentlemen, let's agree that, hey, whenever we get to meet a new person, we are going to be discussing issues with them. We are going to be letting them know what our expectations are, and together we work towards getting to marry the two, his and yours, or hers and yours, so that together you are able to grow together. This way we will be recording and reporting very good vibes, very good reports for each and every one of us, and we get to grow together. So let's agree that we are going to endeavor to do this, and it doesn't matter at whichever point of the relationship or marriage, you can still be able to start and do this very, very well, and it's quite achievable. Ladies and gentlemen, here we come to wrap this one up. Please ensure that we get to practice this quite often. Start it at whichever point. Let it be let it be your endeavor that you're going to do this. Ensure that you subscribe. Please share and get as many people watching this as possible, so that we get to grow together. Ladies and gentlemen, give me that thumbs up, and let's meet in our next video as we continue with part 3 of causes of divorce. Have yourself a good time. This is Annie, your big mama. Bye.